Hello students, welcome back to INDRANI'S online class, and in today's online class we are not going to study about any other grammar topics but discuss this year's ICSE 2024's English language paper. We will deal with the grammar portion of the paper, which was quite very easy. And yes, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and keep updated. Okay, so let's begin without wasting any time. Move on to the screen. So let's start with discussing the paper of ICSE 2024 English language. So this is the first page over here, and this is the second page. Here comes the third page, that is the composition. This composition is an extract from Satyajit Ray's story Asha Manja Babu's Stop. So over here the first question given is, for each word given below, choose the correct meaning. So the first one over here is perturbed. So for perturbed, they are given four options. One is A is frightened, B unsettled, C confused, and D mocked. So everyone has read the composition for your exam. So I'm not going through the composition again, but rather giving the answer. So the correct answer to this is unsettled. The next one in the line over here is stunted. For stunted also we have four options. A, prevented from growing. B, prepared for tricks. C, prevented from taking actions. And D, allowed to do stunts. So in the story there was a line that stunted cool tree. So this shows the growth of a tree. So in that, the answer here will be prevented from growing. Now, we move on to the third one. Which word in the passage means the opposite of the word expensive? Option A, carefree. Option B, ordinary. Option C, cheap. And option D, haggling. So, over here, the answer would be cheap. Okay? The answer would be cheap over here. So, now move on to the next part of this series of grammar portions. Now we start with question number 5, that is fill in the blanks, okay, with the word or phrase appropriate to the blank space. So let's start with this. I'll try to solve it out and put down the answers over here. Please follow. So the first one over here is given, he dashed clothes for me. He selected clothes for me. Okay, then comes, and my aunt gave me my face a scrub and groomed me. It will be groomed me. My uncle followed me about dash several pieces uttering several pieces of advice before letting me out. You must never scowl even if the hits you in the eyes. You must try to look is the answer. So these are the answer for the fill in the blanks with the appropriate phrase. He selected clothes for me, and my aunt gave my face a scrub and groomed me. My uncle followed me about uttering several pieces of advice before letting me out. You must never scowl even if a sun hits you in the eyes. You must try to look pleasant. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 5A. Now we move on to fill in the blanks with appropriate words. So the first one is, there's a black cat sitting on the wall. Number 2, the horse jumped over the hedge. Okay, then number C, mother goes to the market. Number D, several people have climbed Mount Everest in recent years. So is it clear till here? Now we move on to page number 6 for the rest of the grammar part. So stay tuned, and if you have not subscribed yet to my channel, do subscribe to my channel for being updated. Number E. I often go to school with my friends. I have left my keys at home. Instead of talking, prove your worth by doing something, we say. Okay, do not just talk, do something. Do by act yourself. I have not slept since yesterday. Okay, many of you are going through this phase. Okay, not sleeping due to exams. I can understand that. Now let's move on to question number 3. Choose the correct option to make one complete sentence without using and but or so. The first one over here is, the magician took pity on the mouse. He turned it into a cat. Option A, showing pity on the mouse, he turned it into a cat. Option B, taking pity on the mouse, he turned it into a cat. Option C, the magician turned the mouse into a cat by taking pity. And option D, taking pity on the mouse, the magician turned it into a cat. The correct option over here is option D. Taking pity on the mouse, the magician turned it into a cat. The second one is, this work must be completed. There is a deadline. Option A. Since this work must be completed, there is a deadline. This work must be completed because there is a deadline. This work must be completed though there is a deadline. And option D, this work must be completed when there is a deadline. So the correct option for this question is, this work must be completed because there is a deadline. Okay. Option number B, this work must be completed because there is a deadline. Now, in question number 3, we find over here, he fled somewhere his pursuers could not follow him. Option A is, he fled where his pursuers could not follow him. Option B, he pursued somewhere his followers could not flee. Option C, he fled somewhere when his pursuers could not follow him. D, he fled where his pursuers cannot follow him. So the correct answer to this question is option A. Option A. Question 4. He began late. He finished first. Option A. He finished first and began late. Option B. He began first but finished late. Option C. Though he finished late, he began first. Option D. Though he began late, he finished first. So the correct answer to this question is option D. Though he began late, he finished first. So now we will move on to the last part of the grammar portion of ICSE 2024 English language paper. Before moving on to it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe and keep watching and stay tuned. So let's move on to the next part. Here comes our choose the correct option and rewrite the sentence according to the instructions given. Arun and Nikhil had climbed the mountain. We have to add a question tag over here. So as a rule of a question tag, we know the sentence is positive over here. So in that case, we will add a negative question tag. So over here in the sentence, we have had as the helping verb. Had as the helping verb. So the question tag must be hadn't. So that goes with the option number C over here. Arun and Nikhil had climbed the mountain. Hadn't they? That is the correct answer. Question number 2. The children have broken the window pane. We have to begin the sentence with the window pane. Option A. The window pane had been broken by the children. The window pane has been broken by the children. The window pane has not been broken by the children. And the window pane had not been broken by the children. So in this case, what we have to do is change the sentence from active to passive voice. So over here, the sentence is in present perfect tense, isn't it? The children have broken the window. So according to the rule, we have to change it in the present perfect tense form of the active passive voice. So the correct answer will be the window pane has been broken by the children. It will be has been broken by the children. Now, question number C, 3 over here. The apples are so cheap that they cannot be good. We have to use 2 over here. The options are the apples are too good and cheap. B. The apples are too cheap as well as good. C. The apples are too good to be cheap. D. The apples are too cheap to be good. So the correct answer will be is number C over here. The apples are too good to be cheap, isn't it? Okay, so now next one. Okay, she is very clever and beautiful. We will use not only in this sentence. So the option over here is not only is she very clever but also beautiful. B. Not only was she beautiful and she was also clever. Number C. Not only is she clever, she was also very beautiful. And number D. Not only was she very beautiful but is also clever. Okay, so as a rule we know whenever we use not only, we also use but also over here. So in this question you see the correct answer will be A. Not only is she very clever but also beautiful. So this is the correct answer for the first 4. Now we move on to the next 4. Now the fifth one. I prefer a simple vanilla ice cream to fancy dessert. Begin, I would rather. So option A, I would rather have a simple vanilla ice cream to fancy dessert. Number B, I would rather have a simple vanilla ice cream than fancy desserts. Number C, I would rather prefer a simple vanilla ice cream than fancy desserts. Number D, I would rather have a vanilla ice cream than a fancy dessert. So the correct answer is B over here. I would rather have a simple vanilla ice cream than fancy desserts. Now, question number 6. We asked, when do you intend to make the payment? Over here, the options are, we have to begin with he asked. So we have to change the sentence from direct to indirect speech. Okay, over here, there's a question. It's asking a question. So when there is a question from direct to indirect speech, we are not going to use any conjunction. That is that. It is also not given in the option. So leave with that. Now, the question is in the when do you intend is in present tense. He asked when he did intend to make the payment. He asked when she is intending to make the payment. Number C, he asked when I intended to make the payment. And option D, he asked when they are intending to make the payment. Over here, the statement is asked to me. He asked, when do you intend to make the payment? So in that case, over here, the correct option will be option number C. He asked when I intended to make the payment. Okay. Question 7. If the rain does not stop, Mariam will not be able to do the laundry. We have to begin the sentence with unless. Number A. Unless the rain does not stop, Mariam will not be able to do the laundry. Number B. Unless Mariam does laundry, the rain will not stop. Number C. Unless the rain stops, Mariam will not be able to do the laundry. And number D. Unless the rain stops, Mariam will not be able to do the laundry. So the correct option over here is answer number D. Unless the rain stops, Mariam will not be able to do the laundry. Question number D and the last part of this grammar portion of our language paper of 2024 ICSE is, this is the best movie I have ever seen, and this was a very common question. A very common question that we have rather practiced in almost each and every test paper. It's a very common question. Begin with never. Never had I seen a good movie than this. Never I have seen a better movie than this. Never have I seen a better movie than this. I have never seen a good movie as this. So the correct option to this last question is option number C. Never have I seen a better movie than this. So, with this, we end our discussing of the paper of ICSE 2024 language paper. Hope everyone getting their answer correct there, right? So, hope it was all good. This was all with our ICSE 2024 English 1 paper. I hope you all have got the answers correct. And even if one or two is wrong, do not bother about it because you have rest of your exams ahead. So, concentrate on them. So, best of luck for your exams. Stay cool, stay calm, and concentrate in your studies. Okay, so we will come back again with new grammar videos. For the time being, stay tuned and concentrate in your studies. Bye bye. Best of luck.